Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Report. Definitely a chillier day today. Plenty of sun out there. A few patchy clouds, but plenty of sun. A little bit breezy. This is what it looks sort of look like the satellite. You can see a few patchy clouds, but for the most part, plenty of sunshine today. And it would have been a good day to go on a nice long hike in the Pine Barrens, but unfortunately, I'm still fighting this cold off. So I just went for a shorter hike in the usual Edgewood Pine Barrens around the Deer Park train station. You can see the nice clear skies that we had this afternoon. And then that Southern's Pond later. A lot of the lake was water, so even though it seems like we've had a lot of cold weather, we're not really in the really cold weather yet. Kind of seasonably cold, not anything too abnormal, but we will definitely, there's some ice here you can see on the lake, but we will definitely be getting a lot colder next week, as you know, and a few giant pines as well. And then some clouds kind of came in later this evening, and we're dealing with a little area of clouds. Looking at the satellite, you can see that area of clouds passing through. A little disturbance that is moving away to later tonight. The skies should clear out once again. Looking at our conditions outside right now, yeah, a little bit breezy out there, and it's chilly, but again, seasonably chilly. 28 degrees at Islip. The dew point is down to 7, so we are in fairly dry air. That's why that area of clouds actually had snow showers on the other side of the mountains, but it dried up. But yeah, temperatures generally in the upper 70s to around upper 20s to around 30. And we'll go ahead and look at the lows this morning. Let's see what if there was any. West Hampton got down to 19, but I bet that 19 would happen, and then the temperature went up. That 19 might have happened around midnight. I'm gonna have to check these. Otherwise, lows were pretty much in the mid 20s, which is fairly close to normal for this time of the year. But again, not a big diurnal range because as far as our high temperatures go, let's see what our high temperatures got up to 34 degrees. Yeah, so not even a 10-degree spread between the high and the low. 34 at Islip, so a little bit below normal, mid-30s. Let's see, New Jersey, 34 as well. So 34 seems to be the common number everywhere today across the area. Though I am curious about West Hampton, so we're going to go ahead and look at that low of 18 at West Hampton when that happened. Because I have a feeling it didn't happen yet. It happened actually probably around midnight. Yep. See what happened? It was actually 18, or they were getting radiational cooling around midnight, and then look at how the temperature shot up once the winds picked up to the upper 20s. This air mass isn't all that cold. It's not really that cold of an air mass. They're calling it Arctic air, but heavily modified Arctic air. I'll put, that's what I'll call it, because it's really not. I mean, if a cold front comes through and your temperature actually goes up, the air isn't that cold, and that's what happened to a lot of the Pine Barrens areas because of the wind. So let's look at our highs and lows for the day. Invalid site ID. Okay, so all right. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to get the readings. Oh, great. Another problem with the weather service. So now I can't even do this, and I can't do this. It's like half the stuff is broken. I've hit local past weather. I get that. So now, if I want the daily, everything is broken on this page. It's just Upton. Come on, Upton. All right. I gotta go. Do it this way. I'm gonna have to bookmark this page. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. I don't know, but go through it this way. But Islip, high was 34, low was 27. Not a very big spread between the high and the low. Just 1 degree below normal today. That was it. Although the high of 34 was 5 degrees below normal, but just 1 degree below normal. There seems to be a trend where we're not dropping that much at night because of the wind. And the highs are below normal, but not the lows. So a little bit below normal today, but not really by all that much. So looking at the weather map, you see there's that little disturbance that's passing by to the south. We're not going to see any precipitation from that. If we look at the radar and just, again, no precipitation for our area, but there is lake effect upstate, and you see the lake effect going there, it's continuing to go There was a time when the lakes froze over, and usually, I remember growing up, the lakes would freeze over, and by January there wouldn't be any more lake effect snow. But we still have it going. It would be nice to have the lakes freeze over again, but there's looking at the satellite. I can look at the lakes. I see plenty of open water here, so I'll have to see if there's any ice on the lakes when the clouds clear from it. But anyway, let's go to the weather map now, and our models, I should say, and you see there's a pretty strong high, but again, the center of that high is over the Midwest. We're stuck in the troughiness. It continues tomorrow. A little bit of tightness in the isobars. We may see a little more wind tomorrow than today. Today wasn't that windy. It was breezy, but it wasn't terrible. But you see we're in that high doesn't go right over us. And then here comes another little disturbance for Thursday that might bring some more clouds. And then for Friday, hopefully another sunny day and maybe a little bit milder. And then as we head into the weekend, this is what we have to have our first threat of some showers Saturday, and then Sunday we have a little storm that might form along the front that might brush us with snow, and that's kind of like the clipper piece of energy that'll bring in the Arctic air next week. And you can see the Arctic air for next week, by the way, that's going to be coming in. That's a pretty strong high right there, and you can tell just by looking at it. And again, we'll talk more about that on the weekend, or as we get toward the weekend. It's only Tuesday, so let's go to the HRRR here. And obviously, we won't be dealing with any precipitation. It will be dry for tomorrow, Thursday. I mean, you have this little disturbance coming through that might bring a flurry or two Thursday night. You can see this little disturbance in the here on the HRRR. So that would be our next chance of maybe seeing something falling from the sky. But other than that, we're going to be dry. So looking at, we'll take a sounding for 16Z, and unfortunately tomorrow I think there's going to be a lot more clouds looking at these soundings. This lines, actually, this doesn't look terrible. They're pretty far apart over here at 16Z. So, but if we put it over here, yeah, they're closer together to the west. So 16Z is 11 o'clock, but if we go to 17Z, probably start seeing those lines tighten up a little bit. Yeah, they're kind of close, but not quite touching yet. So it's possible that we'll have mostly sunny skies, at least for some time tomorrow, because those lines do look kind of far apart. Here's it tightens up a little later on, but those lines do look pretty far apart. So let's look at our dew points and wind flow. So you'll see again that dry air coming in, though. It constantly shows these drier dew points that don't seem to materialize. See the whites, those are dew points near zero, but I don't see any of that tomorrow. Again, we have the northwest wind in place. That northwest wind stays with us tomorrow night, so no radiational cooling in all of this. And then for Thursday, one more day where that little disturbance is actually like a little warm front, if you want to call it that. Because after we get with Thursday, you see the drier, those low dew points in the single digits. But once we get past Thursday, you'll see the winds become a little more southwesterly, and that brings in less dry air, and that will be warmer air. Looking at temperatures tonight, we'll probably drop by morning, probably to around 20. So nothing really. This air mass isn't all that cold. It's cold, but it's not really all that cold. It's like I said, it's heavily modified Arctic air. And then for tomorrow, highs will similar. And again, this is another thing we overperformed. Our high got up to 34. This model consistently shows the high staying below freezing. That's not exactly what's happening. So I'm thinking tomorrow, probably the same deal again, low 30s, I think, even though this model's showing to be a little colder than that. I really don't see it. And then tomorrow night, the temperatures won't drop nearly as much tomorrow night because I think we'll have more cloud cover than tonight. And then for Thursday, it probably will get up to maybe above freezing again, to mid 30s. So, said not really staying below freezing. That's why the lakes haven't frozen. That's why when I went to the lake here, and there's plenty of open water here. Southern's Lake again. You can see most of it is some ice on the western end of it, but other than that, it's not frozen at all. So let's look at. We looked went over all that. Let's look at some sky models. So here's the sky model for tonight. This is the RGM model, and you can see it has mostly sunny skies. Those clouds kind of staying away on the RGM. You can see that. Now, for Thursday, we'll see more in the way of clouds, more in the way of our high level. It looks like a whole different layers of clouds there. And then as we make it toward Friday, we should be mostly sunny again. So we should have a mostly sunny sky on Friday. Now, if I want to go any further out, like toward Friday here, as far as temperatures go, you'll see that there will be a recovery in temperatures up into the probably upper 30s to maybe around 40. So it definitely will feel better compared to the way it's been the past couple of days. But I said it really isn't all that bad. Dew points still stay fairly low on Friday as well, but it's really not all that bad compared to what we're going to be dealing with next week, which will be a lot colder, more Arctic air. This is really borderline, like I said, heavily modified Arctic air, I'm calling it. So the other issue will be the winds. Let's just go to Ventus Sky and talk about that. This, by the way, is Ventus Sky, and you can see where the center of the Arctic air is. It's over here. So it's really not coming down that far, and it's taking a very long time. So it's heavily modified. It's good. By the time it gets here, it's really barely Arctic air. So looking at the wind gusts, all right, today wasn't that bad. You'll see here. All right, 31. We had some gusts up. If I go to look at some of the observations here, I'll just pull it through here. The gust at 23. Earlier on, we had some gusts up toward 30. I know Islip was gusting a little more than that. It's Farmingdale. But the winds will be worse tomorrow, I think. Today wasn't that bad. Gust of 28 at Islip. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, they had some gusts into the 30s at Islip, but nothing over 40. Tomorrow, we may have more of a potential to see an over 40-mile-an-hour gust. Let's move this to tomorrow. You'll see showing, not really showing that much more wind, but when I looked at the model, you could see there was a little more tightness in the isobar, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little more wind tomorrow, but it honestly doesn't look terrible. It honestly does not look terrible. Now, clouds. This is the Ventus Sky model here to show you the clouds. There will be more clouds throughout the day tomorrow. Though, again, there could be some mostly sunny skies in some areas, perhaps. Though there will be clouds popping up. We'll go to the windy.com model and just look at that one. Let's see the winds for tomorrow. Just the wind gusts. Let's see if this looks worse. Yeah, this one looks worse. So the HRRR doesn't show it, but the Euro does show the result of those isobars getting, I think, a little tighter, and that's why I think we'll have more wind gusts over between 30 and 40 tomorrow. So the wind probably will be marginally worse as I fight this cold. Well, I have to be careful. If it's really bad, I can't walk around too much outside. At least that's why I walked around today. But I think that's going to wrap things up. So hopefully you got a chance to enjoy the sunshine today. I wish I could have enjoyed more of it, but when you're fighting a cold, you've got to be careful. So thank you for watching. Have a good night.